Take one.
Take one. Hello,
We only
Tara
have to take
Brockett.
Hi. We don't have a take one. We only have one take.
It's one. This is it.
So that's it.
We're going to make it good.
But hi.
Hi.
What we're going to talk about today is we're actually going to talk about friendships.
We're going to drive really fast first.
But
first, we got to say we're the Mouthymamas from Getting Real Behind the Wheel.
Oh, we totally have to say
Okay,
yes.
now, yeah.
Okay, and go.
Yeah, go.
So we are the Mouthymamas. And we're going to talk about, friendships today. We're going to talk a little bit about the different types of friendships, and then we're going to talk a little bit about intentionally creating sort of deeper relationships.
Yes.
So we thought we'd start with like a list of the types of friends that you can have.
Mm-hmm. I don't think people really think about, how many people you're connected to and the layers. So one thing I always talk about are my old school friends, like from elementary, and I call them my friends that have squatters' rights. They've been in my life for so long that I'm not getting rid of them and they're not getting rid of me. We've just been together of course I'm driving right into the sun. We've just been friends for so long that they're stuck with me.
Yeah.
So they got squatters' rights.
Okay, I totally have those friends.
Yeah.
Like over 30 years kind of thing.
Yeah.
I get it. They have a level of relationship with you that you don't get anywhere else, but they don't necessarily always have to have you don't always have to have the deepest relationship with them, but you're connected through a lifetime of experience together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you have sort of I would call these, they're not necessarily peripheral friends, but maybe people you don't always have a deeper connection with, and they're kind of the friends that you have out of sharing the same spaces, like in certain moments. So they might be, for example, friends from work, or friends that you play a certain sport with, or friends you go to church with.
Yeah. It's like an organized friendship where,
organized friends.
Organized friends. So you need to be in spaces at the same time. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to get hit by a car.
I like that. Thanks. So there's them.
Yeah.
And then there's the kids, friends, parents.
Yes.
Children's friends, parents, which is how we met.
Yes.
Which maybe we'll talk more about later, I think.
Well, I think we will.
I think that's pretty obvious. I don't think we have to describe that.
And there's fair weather friends.
I like that.
So, when it's convenient, you hang out and you enjoy each other and it's fun, and it's not something you always go out of your way for, but it's still a good time. Like, it's no less of a friendship. It's just maybe not as deep.
Or maybe it's deep in those moments, but you don't always connect.
Yeah.
And then there are Fun Bobby friends, which is a reference to friends from the 90s? Was it the 80s or 90s? Anyways, does anyone remember Fun Bobby? Anyway, I was thinking about it. We were talking about it today, and just thinking about the friends that you have the best time with. You party, you enjoy each other. Not necessarily party, but they're goofy, they're funny,
it's guaranteed good time.
Yes.
You don't mind, you like inviting them to stuff because it's just going to take up the energy level a few notches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jasmin is a Fun Bobby friend.
Then there's your besties. And, there's no rules on how many you have because I have a few. I think too, when you go to different schools, even from, say, elementary to high school to university, and you're going to develop all these different friendships because you're in different points of your life, and they're all important, right? As friends.
Best friends. And then soul sisters. So for me, I know that we could say best friends or soul sisters, but I think there's also a level of they take you even further, or they somehow support you it could be in being a better person, or feeding the depth of your soul. I know that's I know. But no,
I like it.
We call them soul feeders.
Yeah.
But I do think that they help you. When I think about mine, I think they help me, support me in sort of changing and becoming a better person, evolving, that sort of thing.
Yes.
That's what and also they totally get you.
Yeah.
Totally get you, even when you're an asshole. Still, I'm not saying they support you in being an asshole, but they call you on it if they have to.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the list that we had.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the list.
There's probably more, but that's the gist of the majority of relationships you probably have.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
God, where are we going?
We're going
I don't even
somewhere
know where
else.
we're going.
We're off-roading now.
This is new.
So
Where are we?
while we off-road, I don't know where we are.
We might have to turn around.
The park is closed.
Oh, I didn't even know this was here.
So I was having a conversation with my sister the other day about what we're talking about women here, but we could be talking about men and women, honestly. Craving relationships, like craving sort of deeper level relationships and connection, which we're not going to really get into, but we were thinking about like how difficult, you and I were talking about this today, thinking about that, how difficult it is to make friends as adults.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing.
Because there's already like cliques kind of already developed, and there's history, and being the newbie kind of coming in, it's hard to kind of like figure out where you fit. You almost feel like you're back in high school.
But so the funny thing about that is that when I think about, we moved to Nova Scotia, and I certainly wasn't that person like my husband who would actively went out and sought connecting with other people. Mm-hmm. And what this meant was that when we ran into Adam, who we knew to be from our neighborhood, her husband, we ran into him at a dance class for our kids.
Oh yeah.
Andrew just said, "Hey, you like Indian food, or you want to come over for dinner?" And suddenly they came over for dinner.
And then it was game on.
And then it was game on.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of I think what I want to say is, like, when we were talking about, like, there was a riskiness in it. It's not an easy thing to suddenly say, "Hey, you want to hang out?"
I'm going to spend my night with people I don't know.
And that's uncomfortable.
And they don't know me, and I swear a lot, and what if they judge me, or what if I have to filter myself, or so new friendships can be challenging when you're
not sure what you should or can say.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you feel that first night? Do you remember or no?
And you know what, I lived in the neighborhood that I lived in for, at that time, probably 5 years,
and we were new,
and these guys were new.
Yeah.
And I, even up until that point, we hadn't really connected with anybody. Like I worked out of my home, so I was trying to almost not have friendships in the neighborhood because I was trying to build a business. So I had this boundary, and then that went to pot. So now I'm friends with
everybody,
a lot of our neighbors.
Everybody.
But so I felt like it was a little, I don't know if I'd say risky, but the fact that here I was going to hang out with, I don't know, somebody you really didn't know. I was nervous.
Yeah, there's nervousness about
Yeah.
it. But somehow we put ourselves out there, and this friendship developed out of it.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I think knowing as well that you guys were new to the neighborhood, because a lot of people in the neighborhood already had their cliques, so that's why I felt kind of like on the peripheral myself.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of stuff was already developed, so I was like, they'd invite me. Like, people invite us, but I was just like, I didn't quite feel like I fit in. Mm-hmm. And then when you invited me, I felt more at ease because I was like, oh, you're new too. Even though I wasn't new, but I felt like it was.
But there's a leveling of the playing field there. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that might be a thing. We're just thinking about, what is it like? For me, I experience our relationship as a very juicy relationship.
Yes.
And a deep relationship. And I think especially when we hear about women and men too craving this level of connection, and the question is, how did that happen?
For us?
That's what I want to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it was definitely, it's a process, right? Like anything, it takes time to build connections with anybody and trust people. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, you and I, because we have a lot in common from even our childhood, that I felt safe. Yeah. To be more open and to be authentically myself.
Yeah.
I try to do that anyways, but when you're making friendships, you're kind of like got one foot in, one foot out in the sense of, where do I stand? And it's that whole maybe idea of like, am I going to be judged or rejection?
Rejection.
Yeah, which is...
I'm not a member.
I'm not a member, yeah. And so I think it's where it kind of started, just knowing that there was a bit of, like you said, the level playing field. I have no idea where we are. By the way. We're getting a tour.
We are in Nova Scotia.
We're getting a tour of Sackville.
Okay, so I think so too. And admittedly, you are also very dynamic. So I think, like, when we first met, there was definitely this draw of like, oh, I want to hang out. You're fun. So for me, it probably started out with like fun Bobby feeling. leveling the playing field. Also, we had a lot of fun together.
We did.
I feel like that's not past tense, but
yes.
But I think there is something about even like the thing about throwing bits of yourself out there that, you know, the other day when we were talking about the things that we hide from the rest of the world, for me, what happens when you do throw those little pieces, even a little thing out to someone else, and they respond with, I think, compassion. They respond with like, maybe not even experiencing it themselves, but maybe experiencing it themselves, which is what we share a lot of experiences. It makes it easier to open up, and then suddenly you find as you're opening up and willingly opening up, and your friend is willingly and unjudgingly sitting there and listening or opening up themselves, you suddenly feel like you're really building something there.
And and that sense of safety. And like you said, you can be vulnerable. You're like kind of throwing it out there, like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? And then it's okay. You're like, okay, I can step a little deeper and further and into a relationship.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about our relationship, and I think actually so I have another friend who this is why one of the many things I love about her, the honesty of like when, you know, you're doing something that should be called into question. I love being called to task because it means it's honest, right?
Like I call bullshit.
I call bullshit Brockett. Like, that comes out of your mouth from time to time. And knowing that you're coming from this place of like you're on my side.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And that's it. I think. Knowing that if someone's giving you feedback that you know is truly your friend, it's coming from their heart. It's not because they're trying to be an asshole or be better than you. And we've talked about this a lot. When we communicate and even like work together, like as our friendship is super layered, it doesn't come from ego. It comes from love. It really does come from our hearts. Yeah. And there's a lot of respect. You know, even there's a conscious listening.
Yeah.
And there's that whole concept of holding space, like, you know, even just to listen, you're holding space for your friend and without judgment.
Right. Yeah, and that's a big part of this.
And sometimes it's, you know, you talked about intentional friendships, like doing nice things or wanting to do nice things for somebody else, not doing something nice for somebody to expect something back. Like, you know your intention when you do something for somebody. Where it's coming from. Is it coming from, and I just talked to somebody about this yesterday, is it coming from you wanting to and it's from your heart, or is it coming from people pleasing? So you got to make sure as a friend that you're being a friend from the right place even.
You know what, I think common interests like good food and being active, going to the beach, but I think also trying new things together is also kind of a fun way to sort of build a relationship.
Yes, exactly.
When people talk about wanting these deeper relationships, again, what are the things that we need to do? Like how do we get there, especially when we're craving it? But
yes. Oh,
what?
Accepting each other's differences is super important. Because I don't even know where to start with this one.
You go.
A high level of acceptance on our differences, and even sometimes the choices we say or choices we make.
Yes.
We just allow, if they want feedback, we'll give it from a loving place. But it's also, like it's an element of, you know, accepting that maybe it's not something you want to do, or you can agree to disagree. Yeah. And or still love each other and feel safe.
Absolutely. So I think that's the other part of it. Like, again, back to the safety piece.
Yes. Right. So, be able to have like challenging conversations and knowing it's not the end of your friendship. It's just a conversation.
You're not disposable. I think there's something about that too. Yeah. That safety in knowing that you're not going anywhere, even when it gets hard. It's like a marriage almost.
I think also another nice thing is to do, like I said, do nice things for your friends. And I actually have something for you. What? Except I need to pull over because I'm going to get us in a car accident. Hold on. I got something for her.
Oh, she surprised me. Part of the plan.
It's a little bit
she does. For the record, you do a lot of really thoughtful and nice things.
Well,
you do.
Okay, you gotta check this out. Okay, here you go.
What is it? What is in here? What is this? What is it? I can't wait to see what it is. Oh my god! This is awesome! Oh, sorry. I'm just okay. I'll share it with you. Oh my God, I love it. Look at. Can you see?
Mouthymamas getting real behind the wheel. Terra.
This is so fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear this. Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah. Hey.
You are so good at this stuff. Ooh, I love you.
Mwah. Love you.
Mwah. Love you too.
Anyway, so yeah, it's good to have good friends and and try to make intentional connections. It really helps and makes a difference, and beautiful things can happen if we kind of get out of our own way and let down the walls, and we can have like good shit like this. So yeah. So thank you.
We are all about the challenges these days.
Yeah.
The other day was like telling you to share, and people did share.
We
which
did
was
share.
awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe if you want to share, like maybe share one of your one thing that you find has created this really wholesome friendship that you have. So if you wanna share that with us. We would love to hear about it.
Yes,
so,
we would.
Yeah. So thank you. And from the Mouthymamas, getting real behind the wheel, Terra and Jasmin. Have a great day. Peace.
Subscribe.
Oh.
Wait, come back. Come
Yes,
back.
that's it. Oh.
Don't go. Subscribe.
Yes.
I don't know what else you say. Hit the button. I don't
Hit
know.
the button. Smash the subscribe button. You can even get notifications when our videos come out. There's a little bell. Click that. And like our Facebook page, Getting Real Behind the Wheel. And share this with your friends because we are super entertaining. So
That's the truth.
yes. So peace.
Peace.